Alright, good evening, Internet, and welcome to what is possibly the finale of the tactical visual novel, ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, The Prophecy of the Throne. We are on Loop 5, Day 7, after having a enlightening conversation with our friend Tiga. We now have to find a way to rescue Melty from her fate of apparently not having a throat. That's kind of messed up. That's Emilia, I think.
I came back after finishing my business in the royal castle, but Ron was the only one at the inn. I asked her about you and she said you were all here. I was waiting for you. Then Miss Amelia arrived, so we waited for you together.
Aww, that's nice.
I see. Sorry it was out in the cold like this. Are you two okay?
Yes, I'm fine. They said so much to me during my questioning, but I got through it all. It is fortunate we were informed of what to expect by Miss Cruchet and Miss Anastasia beforehand. But what about you, Subaru?
Yeah, I talked to Tiga. I was able to ask a bunch of things, but...
I say that much, then stop myself. I'm not sure how much of what I heard from Tiga I should tell Emilia and the others. Some of it is hard to believe, and some of it is just Tiga's opinion. Most importantly, the fake candidate has been identified. I don't want to tell them and end up apprehending Melty and her camp right away. It wouldn't feel right to settle things in disregard of their circumstances. But I guess that's nothing short of my own self-indulgence.
There's your bad habit again, Subaru.
Huh?
Bearing these burdens all by yourself? Solving everything all on your own? You'll only collapse under the pressure. It happened once before, remember?
Well...
Or do you want to lay in my lap again?
I mean, he probably wouldn't be opposed to that.
What? Mealy?
That will not do! Rem will offer her lap for Subaru.
Hey! Rem?
See? You can't do this by yourself. So I think you should give up and tell us.
I can't win against Mealy.
All my concerns feel like they've been pulverized by Emilia's smile. I don't know what that feels like, but it sounds painful. Rem's pushing me too, and really, even if I find a solution, I probably won't be able to pull it off alone. So...
Okay then, I'll tell you everything as we walk. We'll think it all over together.
Of course. You can count on us. So, what did you want to think about?
Right. It's a way to make everyone happy.
Yeah. That would be really wonderful.
And we'll gloss over the actual recap, and apparently hit yet another save point right away.
Preserve, reserve, save!
Damn, already at day 8.
What a pleasant morning.
There it is. Rom Rom is still Rom Rom, even in the early hours of the morning.
Yes, Sister is perfect every morning. She's likely even more perfect than she was yesterday.
You compliment me too much, Rem. But it is fitting. After all, I have been given an important duty.
You seem really motivated, Rom. But it is reassuring.
Of course, I wasn't able to accompany you yesterday. As soon as Lord Roswell is prepared, we intend to get going. What about you, Miss Amelia?
I was told it's okay to wait at the inn, but...
She said I'm coming along. EMD, Emilia Major Determination!
Simp alert.
There was the thing yesterday night, too. I think it's fine with Rem along, but maybe I should be there just in case, right? Yes. Rem doesn't have eyes on the back of her head, so having Miss Amelia along is very reassuring. See? So you rely on me too, Subaru.
I'm always being helped by you and Rem. But I know that it would be senseless to refuse your help just for that reason.
Then it's the same as ever. It's okay to rely on me.
Alright, I got it. Amelia and Rem are going with me. Rom's doing what we talked about yesterday.
Going along with Lord Roswaal to make the adjustments. While we had a favorable response last time, the location may affect the circumstances.
Ah, they're being intentionally vague, so I can't figure out what their actual plan is.
Wow, you really are reliable. Alright, let's do this.
Yes, leave it to me. Yes, let's do our best.
Huh, that goes without saying.
Then let's go!
Where did you come from?
To wherever he wanted, really. On the way back, after talking to Tiga last night, I had told Emilia and Rem about the situation so we could try to find a way to resolve everything. No matter how much we racked our brains, we just didn't have the resources. But that's to be expected. After all, Tiga had been fighting this enemy alone for years. If it were so easy to defeat this enemy, it would put him in an awkward position. Of course, I don't intend to hold back just so he wouldn't lose face, and I'm putting my life on the line for this fight too. That's why I'll do everything I can. Still,
I hope you'll take our hand, my friend.
So is this the street?
Yeah, a shop I'm familiar with is here. If it was a bar or something like that, it would be really cool. But in reality, it's just a fruit shop.
No, I think just having a familiar shop makes you very cool, Subaru. Holding an apple in one hand is stylish.
you are biased, Rem,
Is
and
that
yeah.
stylish? An Appa as a prop feels like some Showa-era actor.
Showa. I don't really understand, but I'm sure it would be fitting for Subaru. Yes, Subaru is a great Showa actor.
She doesn't understand what those words are.
Seems like you don't get it, but you kinda do. Okay, that's enough sidetracking. Let's just get our objective done. Come on.
Hey, welcome! Oh, it's you guys.
We literally buy things from you, stop.
Well, that was a pretty rude greeting. Just reminding you, but in these last few days, we've been big customers of yours, you know? You need to give better service to your good customers, or you're not gonna get any regulars.
I have no idea what that means. Alright, well, I'm sorry about my first comment. Let me redo my greeting. Hey, welcome! Let's see, 100 Appas today?
No, thank you!
Wow, you really do get along. Yes, certainly. Subaru said he is an old friend.
I'm doubtful whether the feeling's mutual with the other guy.
Yeah, probably not.
Anyway, what's up? You've got more pretty girls with you today.
A flower in both hands and a puck on the head is my style today. But we didn't come here to play around. I'll buy some Appas. And along with that, I've got a request.
Do you think I'll accept any request as long as you buy a few Appas? Just so you know, I have work to do. I can't do what you want on a whim, even if you buy 100 Appas.
So that's how you're playing it.
Look at all that fresh fruit. They're all eagerly waiting for their chance to be sold. I can't let them down. So just buy your Appas and go. My job is to get these fruits to meet their destined partners.
That is a way to put that.
You keep using phrases that tug at my heartstrings.
But his view is a fair argument. We're barging in on his business hours, trying to get him to do work that isn't his job. However, if we can't borrow his strength, it's a fact that we'll struggle going forward. What exactly could I do?
This may be overly intrusive, but may I say something, Mr. Shopkeeper?
Oh? What is it, young maid lady? Just so you know, this guy here is the kind of guy who makes life a living hell for everyone around him with his impossible and unreasonable nonsense.
That seems excessive, my
You
friend.
should hurry up and find a different master. Trust me, I'm only looking out for you.
Don't act like a relative giving advice. You're breaking my heart here.
Thank you very much for the advice. However, Rem could never part from Subaru.
I hit A? What is this garbage?
This guy's a real player. If I were the judge, I'd sentence him to death for this crime.
That's one extremely biased judge.
According to your story, Mr. Shopkeeper, you cannot cooperate with Subaru because you will lose time to sell this fruit. In that case, I will help operate the shop. Would you listen to Subaru's request during that time?
You will?
Yes. Is that acceptable? I'd like to ask too, sir. This is very important. I'll do my best to help too.
Rem, Mealy.
Jeez, you're really underestimating me here. I respect your guts, ladies. This is business we're talking about. It's been years since I set up shop on this street. I'm finally well established after all these years. Sales haven't become steady quite yet. A business isn't built in a day. You two shouldn't take this lightly.
After that, a short time passed.
Yes, thank you very much. 5 each of apples and oranges, correct? The change. This should do it. Please carry them home carefully. Miss Amelia, I finished over here. Are you doing okay? Yeah, seems fine. You're amazing at this, Rem. Your quickness surprised me. It's thanks to your assistance, Miss Amelia. It has helped me very much. Oh no, same here. No, Rem hasn't done that much.
Emilia and Rem started praising each other's work. They're both humble, so they're both trying to give the other credit.
Even seeing it with my own eyes, I didn't think it would be to this degree.
I'm sure everyone has wondered if having a beautiful girl work at the shop would make sales go up. In fact, that's pretty much where the word poster girl comes from, so that in itself isn't too surprising.
But if the poster girls are S-tier beautiful, they wield this much power.
I'm nearly overwhelmed by the results.
Impossible! The shop emptied out while I was gone?
Oh, you're back, Pops. Man, I wanted you to see it. The fruits went off and found their soulmates one after the other.
Seeing him standing in shock, I point out the girl's accomplishment and applaud. Until just before leaving the shop to Amelia and Rem, he was saying some pretty big things, but this result must be beyond his imagination.
Even that basket and that box are empty? The sales record I spent years building up to at the shop was broken in such a short time.
You have my condolences? Or should I say congratulations?
Ah, you're back, sir. So, were we helpful? Welcome back. We somewhat managed to fulfill tending the shop, although I'm concerned whether this was good enough.
Whoa, overkill.
No, it's fine. You did good work after all, young ladies. I've lost my confidence.
Well, don't get discouraged. And don't make such a scary face.
Enough with the scary face thing. The person waiting for you is down that alley. Don't leave him waiting too long.
Shouting this, Pops points to the entrance of an alley a short ways away. It's evident that while we were watching the shop, he did what we requested.
Thank you. I owe you one.
Thank you for your help. We are very grateful. Okay then. I'm sorry to leave, but we'll be going. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, go on. Also, the silver-haired young lady there.
Yes?
You helped out my daughter before. She hasn't gotten lost since then.
That's wonderful to hear.
Mealy, was he saying something at the end?
Rom, I'm guessing.
Yes. He did. But it's okay, because it was a very good thing.
Oh, then that's good. Now then, over here should be...
Subaru, over there.
You finally showed up. You shouldn't waste so much of an old man's time.
That is not the voice I ever pictured for him.
Sorry. But don't giants live for a long time? How old are you anyway, old man Rom?
Sorry, but I stopped counting after 100.
So, you still got up to 100. It's not an easy feat. You really kept at it.
I often hear that once humans reach about 30 or 40, they start to lose an interest in their age.
On that point, old man Rom is earnest.
Stop that. I'm not happy getting flattery about things like that. More importantly, it looks like you have more companions today.
I have not seen you since the royal castle.
That's right. At least for you, young lady. As for the elf there...
Nice to see you again. I don't know what to say.
Ah, right. Mealy and old man Rom have a bit of an awkward relationship.
I recall the first day I was summoned to this other world. In the turmoil around the dragon insignia at the loot house, Amelia and Old Man Rom had only met briefly. Also, from Amelia's view, Old Man Rom is a relative of Felt, who stole her dragon insignia, so it's a relation somewhat lacking goodwill. Afterward, Amelia worked to heal Old Man Rom's injuries, but he was unconscious at the time.
It's complicated. Old Man Rom, about Mealy.
Don't worry. Felt already told me. I hear she healed me that day.
Oh, yes, that's right. Did you have any headaches or anything after that? I hope you were okay.
I see. You seem to be even more soft-hearted than what I've heard.
What? Soft-hearted? No way. That's the first time someone said that.
Do you have no self-awareness? Mealy, you're super soft-hearted!
First off, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Amelia's meddling is what started my life in this world.
That's one of Miss Amelia's virtues. A result of the Great Spirit's teaching.
That's exactly right. As her foster parent, I'm proud that she has grown up to be such a good girl.
I guess in that regard, I have no complaints about your parenting skills.
Surrounding a flustered Amelia, we all nod at each other over our shared opinion.
Good grief. A spirit, a silver-haired half-elf, that youngster from the other day, and even a demon race girl? What exactly are you gonna have me do?
Huh? Did I ever tell you Rem is a demon? Well, it doesn't matter. About the reason we called you here. There's actually something I wanted to ask you, Old Man Rom, since old people are so wise.
That doesn't sound very genuine. But I owe you for telling me where Felt was. If it's something I can answer, I'll do what I can to help.
Thanks. Anyway, to the main subject. Old Man Rom, have you ever heard the name Faradar?
Did you say Faradar?
Does that mean you've heard of it? I tried asking Roswell yesterday, but even he didn't know.
Roswell. Ah, from the Mathers bloodline. I see. So you're involved with him.
Sir?
Never mind. Forget I mentioned anything. In any case, it's not surprising that the noble sponsoring you doesn't know about it. Faradar is far to the south of here, a land in the neighboring Valakia Empire, or it was there to be more precise.
You mean it's gone now?
It's been gone for many years now. I hear that the tribe that lived there vanished without a trace, too.
Was that tribe related to the Evil Eye tribe?
So you've heard of the Evil Eye tribe of Faradar?
Evil Eye tribe.
When Old Man Rom brought up the Evil Eye tribe, I take a big gulp. The Evil Eye on a solemn/wolf's hand, and the Evil Eye that Melty has, with the power of indoctrination. I figured it was due to their special bloodline, but to think a whole tribe was known by that name.
Evil Eye tribe, huh? Haven't heard that name in a while.
You know them too, Puck?
I don't know about a place called Faradar, but the Evil Eye tribe has been around since long ago. They're a tribe that possess third eyes, also called Evil Eyes, somewhere on their body. That let them use special powers similar to divine protections.
Powers similar to divine protections? Is it not a divine protection bestowed to the entire tribe? Much like land dragons have the divine protection of wind repel?
While I think it's similar, the powers Evil Eyes exhibit seem random. So I think that's the biggest difference from land dragons.
It's just as the spirit says. The Faradar tribe exhibited particularly strong powers. And all that power was relied upon during the Demi-Human War.
That was the big civil war in Lagunica in the past, right?
Are you a veteran of that Civil War, Old Man Rom?
Well, I'm a coward. I was just sneaking around trying to avoid the fight. But Faradar, huh? Youngster, why did you bring up that name?
This might be hard to believe, but I didn't know about the existence of the Evil Eye tribe. When it comes to asking about demi-human related things, I just couldn't think of anyone but you, Old Man Rom. You seem like you've lived in the royal capital for a long time, and you know Pops at the fruit shop, so I figured you were well connected.
Guess everything worked out.
It's not such a happy story, though.
That's right. There's nobody left in this Faradar place, right? This may not be the best way to say it, but races with low population face threats against their existence from various reasons. Even for the demon race, Rem and Sister's village was destroyed. And who knows if there are other surviving demons anywhere. Don't say it like that. If you put it that way, half-elves are...
Mealy, calm down. We aren't here to argue over which species is endangered.
Sir?
If. Just saying if. But if there's more to the Fardar story, would you be interested?
More to Faradar? Whoa, what do you mean by that?
This is nothing more than a rumor. While it's a fact that Fardar was destroyed, the Evil Eye tribe wasn't exterminated. The Evil Eye tribe was taken off somewhere for the Evil Eye powers in their bodies to be used. That's what I heard anyway.
To me, that sounds exactly like Melty and Company. The Evil Eye tribe taken from their homeland, being used, like Melty and Solemn, who are being used by Sakura and this so-called Mother.
How many people were taken away?
I told you it was just a rumor, but the power of the Evil Eye tribe is valuable. If they wanted to round all of them up, considering the scale of the Evil Eye tribe settlement in Faradar, there could be 100.
100?
How awful.
Emilia makes a pained face, but my response had a different meaning. It's true that this is a cruel and bitter story, but...
100 of them were taken? In that case...
A sudden thought races around in my mind. In this moment, I found the puzzle piece I was missing. Last night, Latiga said that he and Solemn obey Sakura to keep Melty alive. But I didn't know the reason why Melty would continue to obey them. It didn't make any sense to me for her to be Sakura's hostage. In that case, the 100 people from her homeland, what if they have 100 people as hostages? If so, or if so many of her people were at stake, even Melty couldn't do anything rash.
Old Man Ram, I want to know something. How far can I push this favor you owe me?
When you ask like that, it makes me want to take it back right away. But I've known Felt since an age before she remembers anything. I think of her like my own grandchild. I was gonna be parted from that grandchild without even knowing, but you stopped that. My gratitude can't be expressed in words.
Is that so? Then let me apologize in advance. I'm about to take advantage of an old man's weakness.
That sounds really bad. But Subaru's determined. His delightful smile proves it.
He does seem energized. He's about to scan this old man for everything he's got. Is this what elder abuse looks like?
Yes, Puck. Yes, it is.
You're making me sound even worse! Cut it out! Putting all that aside, I'm going to ask you for a pretty unreasonable favor.
Go ahead. I'll at least hear it out.
I want you to find out if that rumor's true.
About the aftermath of Faradar?
And if it is true, if there are survivors, where they were taken, it'd be for the best if I could find out that much.
You're asking too much. Do you really think I could find all that out?
To be honest, I don't know.
I think he can. Rem? Why do you think that? Well, Miss Amelia, I was not certain at first, but a memory came to me. Mr. Rom has been to Rem and Sister's village. You spoke to the village chief.
So you really were the girl from back then. I heard what happened later. All of you were...
Rem and Sister are safe. That is enough for Rem.
Huh?
In any case, Mr. Rom is well connected enough to travel to our hidden village. Which means...
All right. You don't have to say anymore.
So you'll do it?
I do owe you after all. I always repay my debts. Especially when old friends and a girl caught up in all this are here.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Man, I seriously owe you one.
Don't praise me yet. I haven't done anything. It's been a while, but I'm gonna have to pull some strings for this. This'll be tough.
Come on, don't say that. This could end up helping Felt too, you know?
Oh?
Right, Mealy?
Oh, yes. So let's do our best. For everyone to be happy.
Trusting Old Man Ram with the big job, we visited the fruit stand to thank the shopkeeper and then headed to our next destination. That destination was...
Hello, Subaru. Did your discussion go well?
Yeah, pretty good. And judging by your expression, I'd say you did well too.
Of course I fulfilled my duty. I even had help from a friend.
Had help is a rather conservative way to put it. I made almost all the arrangements. How did you see it in your mind? Surely you don't see friends as nothing more than beasts of burden to do hard labor at your command.
Oh dear, now this is harsh. Ah, my apologies for the late introduction. This is my old friend.
Russell?
Oh?
Subaru, you know him too?
Yeah, you know, he's a pretty famous guy.
I blurted it out because of the unexpected reunion, but that was a mistake. I haven't met him yet in this loop.
To think you would be familiar with me. I'm very honored, Mr. Natsuki.
Mr. Russell, are you also familiar with Subaru?
Of course. As someone who does business in the royal capital, I pay attention to everything discussed within the castle. The people involved in such affairs are no exception. Not to mention, I hear that Mr. Natsuki, despite the absence of his master, negotiated with royal candidates and made great efforts to set all the pieces in place. Along with Miss Amelia, you are currently someone of great renown at the royal castle.
I've got that good of a reputation? Just so you know, I'm not some big shot like that.
No, your reputation is well earned. Rem is very proud. I can agree to that too. Subaru worked really hard after all.
I know I was working hard, but still!
Anyway, because of Russell's favoritism for Subaru, the coordination went without any issue. My, such a capable friend to have, and a servant with great promise.
As a Royal Capital Merchant Guild representative, I deal with a great many issues, which is why that evil magician there sought my help. If you're going to deal with an evil magician, you need to be cautious of their words and deeds. Sometimes you have to be firm with them.
Yes, I understand. I'll be sure to remember those words.
Such an assertive reply. As an evil magician, I tremble in fear.
Evil magician? You, Roswell? Why?
Ah?
It seems EMA has snuck one past the Keeper Roswell!
Roswell isn't the bad guy he pretends to be. He doesn't know what to do with genuine reactions like these.
Well, now I've just about lost all my reputation. Let's get back to the main topic.
A clever evasion. Having said that, Roswell speaks true. Everyone awaits inside.
But still, thank you very much, Russell. It must have been really tough, right?
No, it's fine. Of course, I see this as an investment, and hope for an appropriate return. Please continue your efforts in the royal selection going forward. Miss Amelia and Mr. Natsuki?
I'll do my best.
Although I did meet him through Roswell, I feel like I owe a debt to someone really high up. Well, if worst comes to worst, I'll just shove it all down onto Roswell.
I'm getting nervous.
Why should you be nervous, Subaru?
I guess that's true. But I feel like I did something rash. Even for me.
That's one of the wonderful things about Subaru.
Is it?
Come on, I'm opening the door. 1, 2...
Hey, wait, my heart's not ready!
Oh, so you're finally here. You sure did take your time. In Kararagi, we say time is money, you know?
It's all the candidates. Except Melty,
Typical of you
probably.
to say such a thing. It is actually impressive that you could spew such cheap words of advice.
That's enough. They were invited into my household, so they're my guests. As the master of the estate, I won't allow such quarrels.
Whoa! This is really something.
You're right. Everyone is here.
Hey, it's clearly Smash Brothers. Everyone is here.
All thanks to Subaru. father's charm.
Stop making everything my responsibility. I saw how tense things are.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Tense, Meow? Whose fault do you think it is?
Let him say what he will, Ferris. It seems he has no self-awareness.
Damn, Julius.
Self-awareness? Like, aware that yourself did something horribly wrong?
I wouldn't say it's wrong, but it certainly is out of the ordinary. Us all gathering here without being summoned by the Council of Wise Men.
Whoa. I get why you're all here, but still, seeing all of you gathered here is impressive.
4 royal candidates and their 4 knights. Such a lineup makes for a powerful picture.
No, Subaru. You mean 5 royal selection candidates and their 5 attending knights.
I'm just a knight hopeful, but that's true. I shouldn't forget that.
With Rem's encouragement pushing my back, I take a step forward. Instantly, all gazes in the room gather on me.
Such pressure.
Subaru, are you okay? If you want, I could do the talking.
But in that case, Leah's story will jump around everywhere, so be prepared for that.
Prepared for what? Also, I'm happy for the offer, Mealy, but leave this to me. I'll do my best.
I fumbled my words.
Alright then, do your best.
Yeah, thanks for the support.
In a corner of the room, I catch a glimpse of Ram, Roswell, Russell, and the others, already set to watch.
Thank you very much for taking the trouble to attend on this fine day.
I have no use for your boring introductory remarks, Commoner. I am spending my valuable time here. If you have nothing of worth to say, I'll leave.
Don't complain about a conventional opening line. Anyway, thanks for gathering. I know it was sudden, so I'm grateful.
This is an important matter related to the royal selection. Considering your actions thus far, it would be a bad idea to ignore you.
Yes. Subaru and Rem found the suspicious guy targeting royal selection candidates.
Yeah, I was there too! Me too!
Yes, Fairy will personally reward you later. I can get rid of stuff like stiff shoulders, just like that.
Oh, that would actually be really helpful.
Also, thanks to Natsuki, my company cultivated a new business. Julius brought the contract and told me about yesterday. Don't worry.
I thought for certain today would be about that. But seeing this lineup, it seems that wasn't gonna be all. What kind of story do you have in store for us? I feel both anticipation and dread.
As for me, well, it's probably got to do with what happened yesterday, right? I've got a stake in this, so I'll hear you out.
I would also like to understand the situation. Miss Felt refuses to tell me about yesterday.
I'll talk about all of that, but please, let me hold off distributing honors for all your input until later. Well, this isn't completely unrelated to Al's extremely self-assertive comment.
Oh, he was? Although I can already imagine what you have to say. On camp is blatantly absent, after all.
When Priscilla flat out says this, the air in the room instantly goes tense.
You're a genius when it comes to making a bad atmosphere.
There's no need for deceit, Commoner. Of course, everyone here already noticed the same thing. All that remained was to say it out loud or not. Or did you wish to put a lid over the obvious truth, and have us exchange pointless pleasantries around it? In that case, I have no business here. You can all lick each other's wounds on your own.
Princess, you're going too far. I'm sure even he realizes that. There are just some conversations people aren't eager to have. He can't help that. It seems pretty close to that girl, after all.
Such lenient words for an enemy. Regardless of their status as real or fake, all royal candidates are our enemies. But then why did you come here today, Priscilla? If you say everyone around you are enemies, wouldn't it be dangerous to come? And yet you still came, Priscilla. That's probably because you trust us and have expectations for us. Am I wrong? The mumblings of a half-devil irritate my noble ears terribly.
Yet again, Priscilla calls Amelia half-devil, and I'm about to snap at her. But before I can...
Either revise your words or withdraw them, Priscilla Barial. Saying such statements is not wise here.
Cruchet gives Priscilla a sharp glare, admonishing her abusive words. But it wasn't just Cruchet.
That's no good, Princess. Losing your temper just because she hit you where it hurts is childish.
I'm not going to say who's right, but I owe that girl a debt. So I'm going to take her side too.
Don't think you can push your luck by banding together, commoners. Do you think I'd be scared if you formed a group? In that case, you're terribly mistaken.
Princess, let's stop this, okay? Don't make the situation even worse. You're putting me in a tough spot here.
As Priscilla becomes more displeased, Al desperately tries to stop her with his own body. I'm sure if Al put himself on the line, even Priscilla would settle down.
Be quiet, Al. Or do you wish that ugly head of yours to be removed from your shoulders?
Even Al's no good. It can't be helped. His was a noble sacrifice.
Isn't that a little cold, bro?
I won't allow you to cut off Mr. Al's head. Miss Priscilla, please return to your seat. I'm sure you'll hear a story well worth the trouble of coming here.
You speak big, Sword Saint. Very well. I'll go along with this.
Whoa, Al couldn't do it, but Reinhardt pulled it off!
I entrust the rest to you, Subaru. I'd like you to make Miss Priscilla understand.
That's hopeful.
And casually raising the hurdle while he's at it.
I scratch my head at Reinhardt's words. His words didn't mean any harm. I take a long breath, and then...
You'll be fine, Subaru. I'll be here watching from your side.
Oh, man. I can't look uncool in front of you here.
I turn her encouragement into strength, and start speaking about the 6th royal candidate, who isn't present here. Oh. A heavy silence coldly falls over the room. After hearing the story, everyone's face looks uneasy. Even those who haven't gone pale have pained expressions on their faces. The expressions range from pity to compassion, disgust to indignation, but...
It really is unforgivable.
When Amelia says this aloud, I can tell there's no doubt that everyone is in agreement.
Reconstructing the human body at will, you say? Ferris, is such a thing possible?
I think if you spent a lot of time to slowly change the skeleton and other parts, it wouldn't be impossible. But according to Subaru's story just now, what happened to Miss Melty's body is on a different level completely.
Hiding her third eye and blocking her throat where food passes. This isn't something that can be done with magic. One could say it's like remaking her into a completely new creature.
A new creature, huh? But couldn't the cat ear's magic do something about that?
That's right. Ferris's healing magic is famous as the greatest in the kingdom, capable of doing things others cannot.
Would Ferris's healing magic work? What do you think, Ferris?
I and everyone else turn to Ferris. But despite our expectant gazes, Ferris shakes her head.
I'm happy you have so much hope in me, but I think it would be a little difficult.
Just a little? That's good.
I'd have to examine her to be sure, but if it's as Fairy thinks...
If it's as you think, what would happen?
I think healing magic would have no effect. Subaru, just making sure, but...
Yeah, ask me anything.
According to Tiger's story, Miss Melty's body was made that way years ago, right?
I can't say anything for sure, but considering how he said it, yeah.
Just an example. But when did you lose your arm, Allie?
Allie has a pretty fresh ring to it.
Al, answer him.
Yeah. It's been a little over 10 years since I lost this arm. I'm totally used to it now, though.
Even Fairy's healing magic can't fix this arm Allie lost. After all this time, a lost arm won't grow back.
I guess that makes sense.
If you ask why, it's because his body has gotten used to it. It's natural now for this body to not have an arm. So...
For Melty's body, her evil eyes being hidden and her esophagus being blocked are natural too?
That's what I think. So even if I use healing magic, she probably won't get any better than she is now.
Seriously? To be honest, I was counting on you most of all, Ferris.
I'm fairly uninformed about healing magic. But is there really no possibility? Julius, Margrave Mathers, may I ask?
Unfortunately, my knowledge on healing magic is far short from Ferris's. The only hope is Margrave Mathers.
I'm sad to say healing magic is a weak point for me as well. However, if my knowledge from reading various texts to learn magic is correct, I have no memory of any factors that would refute Ferris's opinion.
This subject may come up, so just letting you know now, it would be difficult with medicine too. To start, most medicines and decoctions are weak compared to healing magic.
Much like Miss Anastasia from the Hoshin Company, it would be difficult for me to be of assistance as well. I've never heard of such a story before.
This individual must be quite the degenerate if they are out there reconstructing bodies. Is there no way to find the perpetrator?
I wish I could, but we have no idea who it could be. I'm sure in the time it takes to investigate.
That girl might end up with a knife in her back.
That's right.
As everyone's understanding of the situation sinks in, their expressions turn grave as they realize the deadlock we've hit. We have so many powerful people gathered here. They say 2 heads are better than 1, and with so many of us here, it should open up new possibilities. That's what I thought, but even that was aiming too high.
We're at an impasse then.
Harry doesn't like this.
There's Ferris, who is likely peerless when it comes to healing magic, and Reinhardt, who has virtually no connection with the word impossible. Melty and Company's outlook already looks bad with these two being unable to provide an answer. Then, as though spurring it on further...
All of you are puzzling for so long. But over what are you so concerned?
Priscilla Boreal.
You must realize it. If the story that Commoner brought is true, the false candidate is already clear. All that remains is to reveal the truth. Remove the false candidate, and the obstacle disappears. The postponed royal selection would resume.
Yeah...
Why would we need to be so concerned over the problems of those who hindered us so much?
So that's why.
Will this discussion move forward without answering this question? I urge you all to consider.
That was the conclusion I was afraid of. We have no obligation to help Melty and the others, and everyone agrees on that. Considering that they deceived us, it wouldn't be unreasonable to cut them down with no mercy. So, why are we having this discussion? Is it not good enough to simply expose the criminals? I can't give an answer.
Isn't it because we couldn't sleep at night? What other reason do you need?
And so, the first voice to break the silence surprises me to my core. Folding her arms, Felt narrows her eyes and looks at Priscilla in the face.
They were used by some dangerous people, dragged into a royal selection they wanted no part in, and their lives are in danger. The more I hear, the more I sympathize with that girl. Right, Reinhardt?
Miss Felt.
At Felt's teasing expression, Reinhardt puts his hand on his forehead and sighs. Of course, between Sakura and Reinhardt, their personalities are like good versus evil.
Anyway, if they're being forced to be in the royal selection against their will, I want to do something to help. That would be more than enough reason for me to go along with his suggestion.
While I have a slight objection to her preface, I have the same opinion as Miss Felt. If Miss Felt decides to do this, my duty is to push aside the many obstacles in her path. I will not hesitate.
Talking like you're so high and mighty. Once in a while, you can just say you want to kick the ass of people you don't like.
If that is your command.
At Reinhardt's response, Felt turns her face and clicks her tongue. That's the answer from this lord and her retainer.
If I had to say, my opinion is closer to that of the Red Princess there.
Next, Anastasia starts her own debate. Raising her hand a little, she looks back and forth between Priscilla and Felt.
If the fake candidate is identified, any further action is excessive, to be honest. We have no obligation to help them.
Miss Anastasia, but...
Quiet. I'm still in the middle of speaking. You shouldn't interrupt the words of your master.
Also?
You shouldn't jump to hasty conclusions. What I have to say next is most important.
Oh, interesting. What argument will the widely known embodiment of greed herself present next?
I'll take your words as a compliment, Princess, but my answer is simple. While we have no obligation to help them, there is benefit to it. I may be an outsider, so this doesn't go for me, but isn't the Transcendent Dragon Church a big name in the kingdom? If their candidate turns out to be a fake, that would be a big scandal. So what happens if we solve their problem and show mercy on top of that? The church couldn't hold their head above ours. The main aim of the royal selection is a covenant with the dragon. We would obtain a pretext to silence those who would meddle in it. Would that not be beneficial? So, do you like my way of thinking? Damnable fox. Why, thank you.
Priscilla closes one eye and curses at Anastasia. I'm impressed how Anastasia seems entirely unaffected. Even though it's rather heartless conclusion drawn by an experienced merchant.
A conclusion drawn from no emotion is the exact opposite of Felt, and exactly like Anastasia.
You say that, but please don't misunderstand her as having no emotional connection. That is simply a condition required by Miss Anastasia. Even if she says to help them based only on emotion, it would involve the great many people who follow Miss Anastasia. In her position, she must not do such a thing. Thus, it is necessary to have adequate cause. A premise so convincing, it sways yourself and others.
Julius, what embarrassing things are you saying? This has nothing to do with your job as a knight, does it?
No. As your knight, I must do my utmost to prevent misunderstandings of you, Miss Anastasia.
However, what?
I know from the bottom of my heart that I'm glad I became your knight. My sword and my loyalty belong to you.
That's not worth one coin, but my doctrine is to take anything given, so I'll reluctantly accept it.
Yes.
Julius answers with vigor, and Anastasia lightly waves her hand. Looks like this lord and retainer also agreed on a single answer. Then...
Well, it appears that it is my turn to state my opinion.
Cruche.
No need to look so worried. When one's gaze becomes cloudy, one can falter in the ideals they carry. Also, rather than stating my opinion here, I shall ask my trusted retainer to do so.
Miss Cruche?
Ferris, I wish to know your opinion. Felt and Anastasia Hoshin have covered the issues of benefit and sentiment. I could act for the same reasons as either of them. However, I wish to hear your opinion in particular. What is going through your mind? After hearing Subaru Natsuki's story earlier, what do you think of Melty Pristis and her faction?
When asked by Cruche, Ferris ponders, a hand placed on a rather flat chest. Ferris can't reply with an answer that wasn't so thought out. Ferris regarded her too highly for that. No, that's not it. Ferris wouldn't think such petty thoughts. Ferris's eyes are filled with an unusual drive, burning and boiling with a sense of purpose.
Miss Cruche, Fairy is your knight.
Indeed you are.
I'm prepared to devote everything to your ideals.
Yes.
But I am a healer at the same time. When asked for help, the first thing I think of is doing something about it. That goes even more so for people in a deadlock, in despair. After all, I was like that before. In an abyss of darkness, with nothing I could do, Miss Cruche led me by the hand and rescued me from there. That's how I became the person I am now. So I can't possibly reject a hand reaching out for help. I'm sorry, Miss Cruche, for being such a willful and self-indulgent retainer. But...
That's enough. No need to finish.
Miss Cruche, will this make you hate Fairy?
Me? Hate you? Unthinkable. That would only be possible if I ceased being myself.
Miss Cruche, I love you!
As do I.
After a nod at Ferris's confession of love, Cruche turns her eyes to Priscilla.
Apologies for the long wait, but this is my conclusion. I wish to be a lord who responds to her retainers. Therefore, we shall cooperate with Subaru Natsuki.
All of that back and forth was just a charade. As you said yourself, you could find a reason one way or another, regardless.
However, if I'm going to walk, I will walk the path my ideals have set for me, alongside my beloved retainer.
Do as you please.
After Cruchet's bold answer, Priscilla replies in an abusive way.
While we're on the subject, Half-Double, you answer the question as well.
Her attack next turns to Amelia.
I'm going along with Subaru, so...
After all this, simply going along with your jester next to you would be absurd. Don't tell me you actually intend to say something so foolish. True, this gathering began at his behest. However, the master must bear the responsibility of the servant. You have a responsibility to make your own statement. Now that you understand that, answer again. Why would you make such an effort for the sake of an imposter?
Priscilla's questioning is brutal, but it's true that it can't be ignored. Felt, Anastasia, and Cruchet all came up with different answers on their own. Amelia needs to come up with her own answer as well. Under such questioning, she gently places a hand over her chest.
I lived for a long time in the forest of my homeland. I was there with Puck, and that was enough for me. But one day, Roswell came to the forest, saying he'll let me join the royal selection. When I left the forest for the first time and got taken to the manor, there was so much I didn't know. I caused so much trouble for Ram and Rem. She isn't here right now, but there's a girl named Beatrice who gets along really well with Puck. And I wanted to get along with her too, but she was always getting mad at me too. And lots of stuff happened. After deciding to join the royal selection, I met the other candidates. And it made me think of how much I needed to get my act together. Everyone was really amazing, with such strong ideals. So I thought I needed that strength too. I must have made a mistake because I was so preoccupied by that thought. I made such a big mistake at the royal capital. I had no idea what to do. I agonized over it, panicked, and then... I met Subaru.
Mealy.
With Subaru's help, I renewed my resolve at the estate. And now, I'm standing here like this in the royal capital. Lots of meetings and experiences shaped who I am now. And I'm different from when it was just me and Puck in the forest. That's why I don't want my meeting with Melty and everyone to end with just a brief encounter. I want to talk it out and understand. If I need to help them first in order to accomplish that, that's what I want to do. No, that's what I will do, after all. If I don't do this right, I'll have this really hazy feeling in my chest troubling me.
You lost steam right at the end!
But that's how I honestly feel.
Amelia's face turns red as she objects. A moment later, the air in the room relaxes. The rigid atmosphere from before has come undone, and I feel the tension waver.
Princess, isn't that enough?
Al?
I get you have a lot to say about the princess's attitude, but that's just her personality.
Al, do not speak as though you understand me. I am not so shallow as to be seen through by a jester.
I know. And because I do, let me say something as if I know. Just guessing, but you already came up with a solution, didn't you?
What?
By solution, you mean for Melty? Priscilla, is that true?
For a mere jester, you have said more than enough.
Sorry. Am I about to lose my head?
If I hadn't heard their stories beforehand, I would have cut off your head with no mercy.
Stop. Enough. Saying so, Priscilla looks around the room, gazing at the royal candidates, including Amelia. Her words and behavior are evidence that Priscilla was impressed, at least somewhat, by Amelia and everyone's words. Maybe that means she's finally beginning to respect them.
So then, Priscilla Barriel, how do you intend to save Melty Pristis?
You should already know the answer. We will require that blue healer there.
Me? I mean, I'll give it a try if it can really be resolved with healing magic, but we've already established that that wouldn't work.
Fool. That is because you only see the easy path.
Easy path. I doubt Ferris would.
You must revise the way you think. If her throat is blocked by some power, we simply need to open it.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, I get it.
Wait, what?
I clap my hands as an idea flashes in my mind from Priscilla's words, and Felt reacts with surprise. All eyes turn towards me. But even I find myself astonished by the idea. I finally made the connection after watching Priscilla, seeing her rub her fingers on her throat to explain.
Incision in the esophagus. No, surgical removal? Regardless, doing surgery should resolve this.
By surgery, you mean using a blade to cut something out of the body?
Yeah, that. It requires a sanitary place and tools, though. If we get those, maybe?
Don't lose confidence right at the end.
No, it's just that I don't know. I'm not much of an expert when it comes to medical science.
I jumped at Priscilla's words because I didn't have that idea before, but I also have no idea about advanced medical techniques.
A surgery to open a blocked esophagus would mean cutting open the throat, opening the esophagus, then watching over time to make sure it doesn't close up again.
While it isn't impossible, this does not seem like something we can deal with immediately. And there may be a chance she could pass away during the operation.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But if we could do something about that...
Allow me to make one correction, Subaru Natsuki.
Cruciate?
It seems you are struggling to determine whether this is possible, but there is no need for that. Because
I can do it!
Ferris...
I can make it so she doesn't die during the work. I've never done things like cutting and opening, though, so it still wouldn't be easy.
In that case, I can assist. With my spirits, I can at least help you.
Julius volunteers to assist, and a faint light floats around him.
Julius is a spirit arts user. Those are his contract spirits.
Same as Mealy, huh? Damn copying bastard.
Oh my god.
I can hear you. Anyway, what do you think, Ferris?
If you help Julius, Fairy would be reassured. But it's still not enough. To put it simply, this work has to be done alongside healing, so we need at least one more.
In that case, I recommend Rom.
Recommend Rom Rom? Are you serious?
Serious beyond serious, very serious. You may be uneasy, Subaru, but nobody beats Rom when it comes to finger dexterity, you know.
You honor me, Lord Roswell.
That's... Wait, really?
Thinking back to Rom's work in the estate, I ponder the real meaning behind Roswell's remark. It's hard to fully understand because Rem does most of the work at the manor, but there's no mistaking that Ram is also pretty handy. Above all...
If Sister helps, we can rest assured.
Your praise is flattering, although it is warranted.
You are so... Your head is huge. Rem is blindly devoted when it comes to Ram, but they're clearly genuine with one another.
Rom, can you really do it?
A stupid question. Of course I can. It is at Lord Roswell's request, after all. Or do you not trust me?
Okay, I trust you. Ferris will be the surgeon, while Rom and Julius are support. Would these three work?
You know I can't tell you I'm completely confident I can do this, right?
Well, it would be pretty cool if you said that, and it worked out.
Brilliant!
Boo!
With puffed cheeks, Ferris doesn't object to Al's wild laughter. But anyway, now...
Conditions are fulfilled.
That's great and all, but I feel like we're left out. Hey, cat ears. Would Reinhardt be useful for something?
I appreciate the sentiment, but Reinhardt is unsuitable by nature. You know, since he sucks mana from around him.
The opposite of useful is what I'm hearing.
That is the reason I'm forbidden from entering places where healing magic is being used.
Guess you won't be any help then.
My apologies.
Bold of you to treat Reinhardt like a useless character. Also, Reinhardt, don't feel bad. I have a little request specifically for you later.
Understood. I would be happy for an opportunity to restore my honor.
Reinhardt nods at my words. It's a request with high stakes, though.
But you did it, Subaru. Now...
Yeah. We finally reached the starting line.
I clench my fists and nod to a smiling Amelia. All that's left is to use the established lineup to try and find the answer.
Commoner, I am not finished asking questions yet.
Just then, Priscilla makes a move to throw cold water on our plan one last time.
You sure are persistent. I'm grateful for the advice earlier, but should I assume this is another prelude to that?
Do not be so insolent as to test me. I will not go along as you will. I simply do what I wish, until I reach my own understanding. The matter is settled. The personnel are assembled. Success or failure relies only on your efforts now. Yet after carrying it this far, I still ask you, why do you seek to help them?
We already talked about that. It's because they...
No. This is disregarding your intentions. Why do you assume that they desire help?
What?
With the blue, the finest, and that demon girl, the surgery to cut her throat open may be possible. That is, if the subject is cooperative. How are you so sure she would not refuse? Have you even considered for a moment that your hand extended in assistance will be rejected? This goes to show your arrogant disposition in presuming to think you must save her.
With the last brunt of Priscilla's questioning aimed at me, I open my mouth to immediately reply. But I can't find the words to say.
Did I rain on your parade? You are a mere jester after all, worthless to even question.
Ending with a cold tone, Priscilla stands from her seat.
Al, we are leaving now. There is nothing more to gain here.
I don't mind, but shouldn't we wait to hear his answer?
That won't happen. No answer will be coming out of that one. This fool got carried away by the situation, and when pressed to deal with it in the end, he cannot even see the reality of the light that illuminates his own hand. An answer from such a fool would surely be nothing but an imitation in livery.
Priscilla!
Her words hit me like cold blades, and I call out to her back to stop her as she tries to leave. Slowly, the Crimson Beauty turns around. I sense scorching heat in her eyes, and for a moment, my shoulders tremble with an illusion of pain. But I fight it off immediately and grit my teeth.
I don't have an answer for you right now that would satisfy you. You're right. I got carried away, so preoccupied with trying to deal with the events as they happened. I don't even know why I pushed this so hard.
Subaru.
But I have a reason to keep going. Part of it being because I want to help them. I don't know if they'll reject my helping hand, but I'd still extend it nonetheless. I'll extend my hand, and if they don't take it...
If they do not take it, what?
I'll grab them by the neck, save them, then convince them afterward. When lives are in danger like this, it's stupid to argue over whether they can be saved or whether to save them. All that nonsense can wait until after they're saved. Complain as much as you want after everyone is safe, including everything that couldn't be said before. That's what I'm gonna do. So my answer to your question will be clear once everything is over.
I say this pointedly and thrust a finger at Priscilla. In the room, only my excited breathing echoes out. The silence continues for a while, but slowly breaks.
You truly have the perseverance of a jester.
How rude.
As I thought, I did not procure the answer I wished for. However, I can deem that acceptable.
Priscilla turns her back. She pulls her fan out from her cleavage, and it makes a whooshing sound as she snaps it open.
In any case, it seems I will have my answer tomorrow. Regardless of the conclusion, all will unfold as I desire. The world exists for my sake, after all.
You really think highly of yourself.
Wow, she really stole the show there.
Miss Priscilla is quite the relentless woman. I thought I knew that already, but she made it all the more clear.
That said, without her opinion, it's highly possible we wouldn't have found a solution. Thinking about it that way, I can't complain.
Opening the esophagus with surgery. In a world with advanced healing magic, this is quite the unconventional solution.
No, she's gonna talk big anyway. With her big attitude and big breasts.
Subaru, I know she isn't present, but if you go any further, I'll have to stop you.
Sorry. I can't help it when I'm with only guy friends.
As I walk alone with Reinhardt on the nighttime street, I can't help but feel different from usual. Of course, it's plenty enjoyable being with Emilia and Rem, but guy friends are different.
I only feel this way when I'm hanging out with you or Tiga.
It's an honor to be among the selection. In any case, how do you think Tiga will react to all this?
His goal is Melty. As long as we can assure her safety, he would cooperate with us. I think.
Subaru, I didn't mention this earlier, but if Julius and I charge into the church, we could likely resolve it then and there. Naturally, the opponent would likely resist. However, we should have the power to suppress them. Then
you could resolve it without any casualties on our side? Isn't there a chance of them killing you?
No.
Really? You really think that highly of yourself? Holy shit, Reinhardt he's like, nah, I'm invincible, bruh.
Whoa.
I am not only saying this because I am talking to a friend. I would not lose. That's why I can make this suggestion.
The tone of his words is uncharacteristic of Reinhardt. No, it's a confidence that only Reinhardt could be forgiven for. Confidence that he would absolutely never lose, no matter the opponent. That is Sword Saint Reinhardt.
That only goes for your body. What about injury to your heart?
Wounds can heal.
Does that make it okay to get hurt? Not for me. My imagination's good enough for stuff like that. So no thanks.
Bro, just let him do it.
If I'm going to do something, I want to win. And aim for a perfect victory while I'm at it. If I've got cheat codes, why not use them? I don't want a hard fight or suffering. I think it's best if I can just skip through and clear it. So don't try to go and get yourself hurt. There's nothing but pain in that.
I see. I understand. If you can make my job easier, I would be happy to get on board. To tell the truth, this sword at my hip is unexpectedly heavy.
I'm sure. Of course a big sword like that wouldn't be light.
Yes. That's right. It's exactly as you say.
Reinhardt's suggestion is, well, probably his way of being considerate. To gain the very best result, a lot of sacrifices have to be paid, and even then, there's no guarantee of obtaining results. If that's the case, he would go himself. He could simply bring back the simple, good result. That was Reinhardt's suggestion. How many situations like this has he had to overcome? I vaguely think to myself that maybe that's why Felt is so fitting for Reinhardt. That strong-willed Felt could do a flying kick to the back of her knight when he tries to stop at good, sending him to best.
What formidable people.
Did you say something?
No, it's just that you guys seem troublesome once the royal selection starts.
That's rather hasty. However, yes, that's right. I promise to fulfill the role of worthy opponent. You are going to learn to hate my tenacity.
I don't want to promise like that!
Mr. Natsuki!
Is that?
Over here! I'm over here!
Oh, there he is. And right on time.
No, actually, you're very late, Mr. Natsuki. How long did you intend to make me wait in this cold?
For now, I'll just say sorry.
For now? You definitely don't mean it at all, do you?
Subaru? Who is he?
Ah, this guy's Otto. As you can see, he's a traitor with bad luck.
You're saying I look like I have bad luck? No, I'm sorry. I got too carried away. You're... red hair, blue eyes, and a sword at your hip? Could you be...
Oh, you know him? Well, you are a merchant, so I guess you would be well informed.
Are you an idiot? It's less common not to know someone so famous. The Sword Saint. He's the Sword Saint Reinhardt, right?
Indeed. I am the currently appointed Sword Saint, Reinhard van Estrella. However, if you're a friend of Subaru, I'd prefer it if you keep it casual and call me Reinhard.
It's hard to be casual when I'm this worked up!
Well, just get used to it over time. I have something I need you guys to do.
Yes, you're right. I'll take my time and... Huh? Me and Mr. Reinhard?
Could this be the opportunity for me to regain my honor you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, exactly it. Wait, did I not tell you, Otto?
You didn't tell me anything! I only came here because I was told there was something even more lucrative for me than the oil buyout.
It may be a bit forward of me to say this when we only just met, but it seems you're far too kind, Otto. You should put yourself first more.
You being here is the reason I'm so flustered right now!
Ugh, stop making such a fuss. Just quietly accept your fate.
That sounds like something a villain would say. I heard a slave trader say that before.
While that's an interesting story, we should prioritize the required story here. So, Subaru, what do I need to do with him?
Alright, and we're back.
Yeah, to explain that, I actually have one more guest. He should be coming soon.
Are you looking for me?
Ah! A monster!
Otto, stop.
What's with this youngster? Treating me like I'm some ghost. How rude.
Anyone would react like that if a giant suddenly appeared out of a back alley.
Mr. Rom, did Subaru make an appointment with you too?
Oh, it's Reinhard. I didn't think it would actually be you, but you can definitely get the job done.
Oh, is it to rescue the, Goodness. The people.
You sure are good at giving work to other people, kid.
I think that's about 90% of my strength as a person.
That's a sad ratio.
Shut up. I'm at peace with it. More importantly, Old Man Rom, did you figure out what I asked for?
Don't rush me. I had to go around a lot of old contacts, so I'm exhausted. Good grief. Don't work an old man so hard.
Okay. I'll give you my best shoulder rub later.
About the aftermath of Faradar, it seems like our thinking was correct. As expected, they weren't wiped out. They were probably taken somewhere. This just happens to be a coincidence too, but...
But what?
Despite Faradar being destroyed years ago, within the last year, several Evil Eyes were put on the market.
Wait a second. Evil Eyes on the market? You mean...
The Evil Eye tribe's powers lie in their evil eyes. For those who believe that, there are times when only the eyes themselves have value.
The wrinkles on Old Man Rom's face deepen, and I'm suddenly struck speechless. Faradar, Melty and Solemn's homeland, and a place where the Evil Eye tribe lived. Seeing how their homeland was destroyed and they were taken away, I figured they weren't living in peace, but...
What was the source of the Evil Eyes?
You're a lucky guy, youngster. One of my acquaintances just happened to be involved in the Evil Eye trade. I have an idea where it is.
What kind of connection is that?
If you want my information, don't ask questions like that.
All right, I got it.
I have no reason to question Old Man Rom on his shady background right now. What I need is...
Otto, thanks to Old Man Rom, we found the source of our future worries. I want to leave it to you guys. Is that all right?
Of course I don't mind. From what I heard, their acts are inhumane. I cannot stand by silently.
I don't know too much about these things, but is this one of those now that you know type deals?
Nice joke.
This definitely isn't a laughing matter, is it? But I understand. As Reinhard said, I may be a cold-blooded merchant, but I still know there are some lines that shouldn't be crossed.
Cold-blooded? Who are you talking about?
Didn't you hear me clearly refer to myself?
Be at ease. I was listening. Otto, having you as a companion is reassuring.
I see. That's good.
This guy's easy to please.
If Reinhard and this youngster are going, I'll go as well. While I have no acquaintances from the Evil Eye tribe, if fellow demi-humans are suffering, I can't leave it be.
Okay, Roger. Then I'll leave the Faradar Evil Eye tribe to you three.
Yeah, leave it to us.
There's no turning back. We're all sharing the same lot now. Let's make this go well and secure a better future.
All right, good spirit. Reinhard, I'm counting on you. You guys really are the last hope.
Understood. Subaru, you be careful too.
Yeah, hearing you loud and clear.
With a voice of encouragement for myself, I look up at the night sky and settle my resolve for this match. The decisive battle is tomorrow. I'm sure tomorrow will be the longest day of my life. Probably. Yes.
I'll write it down.
Loop 5, Day 9. The morning sun is almost painfully bright on the day of the battle. The clear sky seems out of place considering the conflict that awaits. We begin walking forward under the blue sky.
Hey, working hard as usual, huh?
Welcome! Oh, it's just you. Don't you get tired coming here every day?
Nope.
You call that customer service? You need to greet your patrons with a smile, or you're gonna lose your business.
I do appreciate your business, but you shouldn't act so high and mighty just because you buy a couple appas every day.
We also helped you sell out of all your appas, so...
Or are you here to have those two pretty ladies help watch over the shop like yesterday?
I'm sorry. Watching over your stall was fun, and while I'd like to do it again...
We have prior engagements to tend to today, so we are unable to do so.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I was just kidding around. Damn, it makes me uncomfortable when you respond so seriously.
Just think of it as punishment for trying to take advantage of two innocent, pretty girls.
Jeez, you're really going off on me, huh? So, what do you want today?
Honestly, nothing much.
If you're just wasting my time, get out of here!
Hold on, man. I understand why you'd say that, but bear with me a bit. It's been about a week since I came to the royal capital. I show up here every day, so it doesn't feel right unless I see you at least once.
Now you're creeping me out.
That just shows how much he likes you.
Subaru, the shopkeeper helped you the other time, right? Is that why you started to like him?
I regret being nice to stray dogs now.
Take responsibility!
Oh my god.
Oh, you're so annoying. Fine, if that's all you're here for, look at my face all you want. And buy an apple while you're at it. You can at least take that with you, right?
Well, I came all the way here, so I should at least do that. Now then...
I hand the appa I bought to Amelia.
Wow, the appa is bright red and looks delicious. Is that for me?
Yeah, I put my heart into that appa. That's why it's bright red.
What are you going on about now? But thank you. I'll hang it up for decoration.
You're supposed to eat it!
I love how they're both on the same page.
Well then, Subaru. Now that you are done with your daily routine, are you ready?
Yeah, we're good to go. When you've got a good flow going, you want to keep up the same ritual, you know?
Ritual. I don't know about that, but you did talk about it a lot with everyone. Yes, let's make sure it's a success.
Yeah, it must. I will.
You're gradually losing confidence.
I'm just kidding. Really. Let's do this.
All right, let's get started. Ready?
Yeah!
They're very confident.
Why are you taking the lead again?
I knew I was different ever since I was a child.
Oh, melty background, alright.
It's not that I was special or good at anything. I felt alien or just unusual. That I was different from normal people. But I didn't mind, because the world was kind and it was very easy to live in. Everyone treated me well and always listened to my wishes. They all worked so hard for me, so how could I hate my environment? Why would I think that it's painful? My younger self didn't understand that. That's why I decided to accept all the kindness in the world and only gather the prettiest things to cherish them. I will only pick out the best parts. I walked over that thin ice, thinking nothing of it, laughing innocently. Faradar, my birthplace. The land where my family and clan lives. The Evil Eye tribe was banished from various lands because of their special powers and appearance that made them different from others. Faradar was the promised land of our Evil Eye tribe, the utopia that our ancestors found for us. In times of emergency, the Evil Eye tribe will answer to the summons of the country. That was the condition to stay in Faradar. Thus, there was a need to find those who had especially powerful evil eyes to answer to that call. Once every few years, the children of the Evil Eye tribe took an exam to test the strength of their evil eyes. The evil eyes varied in power, so it was necessary to determine their individual abilities. Those with powerful evil eyes were to await the call to action. That was the law of the Evil Eye tribe. My brother and I were no exception. That's why... So many people lying over the grassy plains. I was shaken violently while I watched. I didn't understand what was happening. All the adults and children alike were collapsed on the ground. I quietly watched as their faces turned bright red
and they bumped into each other and fell. Why? 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 That question cycled through my mind. I was overwhelmed by my emotions. What I knew, deep down, this is what I caused. My mistake. My sin that I must bear. My evil eye. The evil eye of calamity. Indoctrination. That is the power of my evil eye. It is a rare power, and it had not appeared for hundreds of years. I was taught that it was dangerous, powerful, and that it can bring misfortune to many people.
They say someone with the same evil eye as you existed hundreds of years ago. If I can learn more from the adults, it might help you.
My brother who came to see me researched it for my sake. He was told never to visit me, but he managed to slip past the adults all the time. Since the day of the exam of my evil eye, I was imprisoned in a shack far away from the village. I understand that they had no choice. No one died, but they very well could have. All because of my evil eye of indoctrination. During the exam, I didn't know the powers of my own evil eye. The voices urging me on started to scare me. I felt so afraid, so I made a wish. I'm scared, so stop rushing me. I think that was the wish I made. By the time I realized it, everyone around me started to hurt each other until they collapsed. They were no longer able to make noise. The people I touched did all of my bidding. The power of the evil eye was terrifying. Until I learned of the power of the evil eye, my world was kind and gentle. But that world changed instantly. Everyone was kind to me only because they were deceived by my evil eye. The world was not kind. Everyone was afraid of me, so this was the perfect place for me.
Don't be dumb. Seeing my own sister be in prison makes me a terrible brother.
But brother...
No buts. I won't allow this. I'll convince the adults to change their minds.
My brother was the only one angry for me, and he told me that he had to change things. But that meant... Brother, you're so kind. But is your kindness real? Or is it because I touched you and wished for it? My evil eye. I looked at my palm and saw the evil eye in the same place as my brother's. But something about it made me afraid.
Uh-oh, it crumbled. I messed it up. Huh? What's a girl doing here? Hey you! What are you doing? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
What was that, bestie?
It was a boy about my age. I was frozen because I was surprised, but he looked at me curiously.
No answer, huh? Don't tell me this cute girl is a statue. That would be a shame.
Who are you?
Oh, good. You finally talked. Yeah, I knew you weren't some statue.
Upon saying that, the boy gave a big smile. I was so very surprised at that. No one in this settlement would smile for me like that. Nobody would smile unless I asked them to.
My name's Tiga. I got a bit lost, but then I saw this little shack. I was wondering if there was someone inside and took a look. And then, there you are.
The boy smiled innocently, but that was impossible to me. Everyone in the village feared me because they knew how dangerous my evil eye was. So they used the power of an evil eye to make all who approached the shack where I was held feel unpleasant and want to stay away. My brother's evil eye.
You're getting quiet again. You must be a shy one. Or do you have some kind of rule about how you're not supposed to talk with outsiders? I sure hope not. I'm an errand boy for traveling entertainers. I've gone to many different places, so I know some people have laws like that.
The boy nodded to himself. He seemed to know everything without me having to say anything. While I was still silent, the boy put his finger on his lips and winked at me.
Okay then, let's make this our secret. You didn't see anyone, and I never came here. Oh, but it's true that I got lost, so I'd appreciate it if you can tell me which way to town. Then I'll get out of here. Oh, maybe you don't know? Okay then, guess there's nothing I can do about that. I wonder if I can guess my way back.
Looking worried, the boy cocked his head, then turned to leave the shack. Thinking that I'll be all alone again after he's gone, I grabbed his sleeve.
What's wrong? You want to talk to me, or are you going to tell me how to get to town?
Well...
Or do you need something from me?
That question made me shiver. I didn't know how to answer him. I shouldn't have even thought about what I wanted from him. And yet, that didn't stop my wanting. I want to live together with my family again. I want to see Brother stop being so angry and to smile again. I want to apologize to those I hurt. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. When my palm touched the boy, my evil eye stung. It was as if it was telling me to say my wish. As it got hotter and hotter and hotter, feeling elated from that heat, come here.
All right.
Huh? I knew I was being selfish. Right at the moment I gave in to my desires, the boy smiled and placed his finger on my lips. The gesture was meant to keep me from saying anymore. He smiled.
If you're afraid of being alone, I'll be with you. Huh? Is that not it?
I shook my head to the boy's question.
That's good.
Why?
Let's see. The ringleader of the traveling entertainers I'm with always told me... He said, if you ever find the right girl, never let her go. Well, I guess you could say, it's love at first sight.
After saying that, the boy sat next to me and told me about many things. He was orphaned for as long as he could remember. He was adopted by the traveling entertainers. He told me the boy was a great storyteller. I lost track of time and my loneliness as I was absorbed in his conversation.
Who is he? How did you get in here?
Brother came into the shack and made a very angry face when he found the boy. I shrunk away in fear, but the boy held my hand.
Nice to meet you. My name is Tiga. My adoptive parent, the ringleader, gave me the stage name Tiga Raulion.
I see, Tiga. So what are you to my sister?
Sister? You look nothing alike. Well, let's set that aside. About me.
The boy looked at me. From his gaze, I finally realized that I never gave him my name. Melty.
I see. Got it. I am your sister Mel's friend. I will never leave her alone again. I will stay by her side and protect her.
You're strange. That's the first thing you say?
The ringleader once told me this. Never be too shy to say what's important. If you don't, you have no right to be mad when they get taken away from you. I don't want to regret anything, so I won't hesitate to speak my mind.
I see. Fine then. I'll have you know that being by my sister's side will be tough. For starters, I'm your first obstacle.
Well, you're a worthy challenge.
The boy smiled at my brother's words and held my hand. He never let go, even once. And even now, that hand... Those memories always come back to me whenever I pray. The day that my evil eye pushed people away. The day that Tiga came to me. Then, the day I bound Tiga. In order to keep his promise with me, Tiga stayed behind in Faradar. We've been together since. He parted ways with the traveling entertainers who raised him without a proper goodbye. And from then on, he was by my side. That made me happy, and I appreciate it. But I've always wondered. I didn't say it out loud on that day, but I did have a wish. I thought that my evil eye deceived Tiga and took away his freedom. that I had bound him to me from that moment. I may have selfishly forced Tiga to sacrifice his own future just to stay with me. That thought makes me so ashamed. I'm a terrible person.
What's so terrible? You're so lively this morning as usual, Mel. You were really into that shouting during your prayer.
I don't shout when I pray! And you never do what I ask.
Tiga, talking to me from behind as I pray, had become part of our daily routine. I can't help but get angry, but I always regret it. How can I possibly complain about him not doing as I asked?
Sorry, that's not what I meant.
Jeez, Mel. You're such a worrywart. Don't look so down. When the royal candidate is like that, you'll make the people who support you get worried.
Tiga gently touches my cheek. I don't mind it when Tiga touches me, but every time we touch, I always wonder. If I wished for something, Tiga may do exactly as I wished, suppressing his own will again.
I don't understand how anyone could support me. You know how I feel about it, Tiga.
Mel, I've always told you. This might have all started because of the evil eye, but the rest was...
You two are rather passionate for this early in the morning.
Sakura.
Sakura appears out of nowhere, and Tiga has a wary look in his eyes. I can't help but tense up. I have an instinctive fear of Sakura. Seeing our reactions, Sakura places her hand over my mouth and smiles. Over her mouth.
Oh dear. Tiga, don't look at me like that. You're scaring little old me. And we need to be on friendly terms, or the others may start to get suspicious. That wouldn't work out so well for you, Tiga. Oh, my mistake. It would be your precious Melty who would really be in trouble. Don't you agree?
Why, you...
Tiga, it's okay.
Mel, but...
I'll be okay. I'll do as I'm told.
Melty, you're such a good girl. I love obedient children.
So, what are we supposed to do today, Sakura?
Let's see. I wanted to get rid of that annoying half-devil servant, Subaru.
Subaru? Why single him out?
This is just a hunch, but I sense something strange about him. He was the one who discovered my spies at the manor and also got in Wolf's way. That's why I thought it was the right time to send the Dusk Bandits after them. But that ended in failure as well. Of course, I partially blame you two for that.
It wasn't just us there. There was Subaru's bodyguard, Rem. And the finest of knights was there too. Those guys didn't stand a chance, whether we were there or not.
Yes, I agree. That's why I didn't punish you as long.
Tiga?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, you want to move on Subaru, right?
I don't know yet. What do you think is best? If I come up with something too terrible, you might betray my plans to your friend. If that happens, I'd be in deep, deep trouble.
I wouldn't do that. And I can't. You already know that, Sakura. What's most important to me is Mel. Nothing will tip the scales against her favor.
I see. Glad to hear that. Still, considering recent events, I guess it's imprudent to try anything on Subaru. So let's stay put for today and concentrate on gathering votes for the royal selection.
Gathering votes? Are we meeting with the higher-ups at the castle to use my evil eye again?
Of course. Go and give them a little coaxing. This is so wonderful. Just touching them and smiling can put them under your fingertips. I envy your powers. Because I...
Oh, that is an evil grin.
I'm already at my limit just making these children do as I say.
Countless wings flutter as shadows appear over the church's walls, floor, and ceiling. The writhing shadows and sound of fluttering wings are enough to paralyze and leave me trembling in fear. I'm afraid. So afraid. I feel just like I did when I was left all alone in the shack back home.
Sakura, stop this! Stop scaring Mel. What's the point of all this?
The point? The point is to see your faces! So funny! So pitiful! If I don't strike fear in you from time to time, you'll start to get the wrong idea about me. You'll actually believe I'm a kind, considerate, temperate woman.
Oh!
Isn't it time for a meal? Melty, you need your nutrients for your precious body.
The sound of the bug's wings comes closer. I can see their stingers glint. Being stung by those things is extremely painful. But without them, I will die. Even though I know that,
I'm still okay. I'm fine. So please get those bugs away from me.
Come on, don't be like that. Mother has tasked me with keeping you in peak condition. If anything were to happen to you, I wouldn't be able to face Mother.
Mel, don't listen to her.
You really think she has a choice?
Sakura's remark makes me come to my senses. It sounds as if she's testing me to see if I really will defy her. But if I ever defied her, then everyone in Faradar would...
I'll do it. So please...
Mel!
Come on, don't interrupt Tiga. I know she's very self-sacrificial. What a benevolent nun she is. Well then...
Sound of insect wings fluttering comes closer. While I feel my body tense up with fear, I look over at Tiga.
Please?
Mel.
I don't want Tiga to see this, because if Tiga sees me like this, I may wish for it again. That I want to be saved. And when I do that, Tiga will...
Sakura?
I clench my teeth and prepare myself for the oncoming pain, but it never comes. I look at her, wondering if she's delaying it to harass me.
Looks like someone is here. You're so dense. There's a visitor at the church. We can't let them see this.
With that, Sakura snaps her fingers, and the squirming shadows that had been in full view until just a moment ago all vanish from sight. I'm still reeling from it.
Excuse me. I assume you are Miss Melty Pristes and the members of her faction.
Yes. I see. So you are...
Yes, I'm a messenger from the castle. There is important news about the royal selection, and all candidates must be brought there.
To the castle? Right now?
Oh my, this is sudden. We haven't heard about that at all.
The Council of Wise Men are terribly sorry.
This is not true.
Excuse me, but I would like for you to come with me.
We have our own schedule to run, so it's too sudden. So at least for now.
Can I assume you are okay with letting the other candidates get an advantage then?
Tempt.
Excuse me, I was out of line. However, although the royal selection has been delayed, it can be said that its preliminary competition has already begun. It may not be wise to fall behind any candidate in this battle of intelligence gathering. I'm sorry, I'm speaking out of line. I beg for your forgiveness.
Interesting.
But you do have a point. What do we do, Sakura? Maybe we should accept the invitation for Mel's sake.
Of course you'd want that. It would interrupt our earlier activity.
Don't take it out on me. It's not my fault someone came here.
Tiga shrugs, and I notice Sakura's glare becomes more ominous. Seeing this, I instinctively raise my hand.
Yes. The castle, is it? I'll go. Please take me there.
Oh, fine.
Yes, thank you. The dragon carriage is already prepared outside. Please come and board it.
get her out of the castle, or out of the church.
But this is odd.
What do you mean?
This unexpected summons. We couldn't get the Council of Wise Men on our side, but that high-ranking civil servant is under our thumb. Or should I say, he's Melty's ally, which makes us privy to everything that happens at the castle. Considering how we weren't notified first, I would have to say that they're getting lazy on the job.
Sakura is referring to Rickert, who is cooperating with us. In joining the current royal selection, we needed someone's cooperation in the castle, and we sought out the manager of the other civil servants. We created an opportunity to meet with him, and I used my power of indoctrination to bring him to our side. Using the power more often would deepen the effect. Now, Rickard would prioritize us, me, even if he didn't think of it consciously. Being the manager of the other civil servants, Rickert delivers us useful information constantly. That's why I have the same suspicion as Sakura. Why didn't Rickert tell us about this?
Could it be?
Could Rickert have managed to escape the evil eye of indoctrination? If that's the case...
You would have to deeply reapply the power of your evil eye again, Melty.
For a second, I thought she read my mind. That was how exact her words matched my thinking. She smiles widely.
But you should know that, without me having to tell you.
But that's...
I'm sure you wouldn't want anyone to be able to escape your evil eye.
That's not true. If it weren't for my evil eye, I would be a normal...
Yes, I wish I didn't have my evil eye. If it weren't for this, I wouldn't be taken advantage of by Sakura. I wouldn't have been torn from my family. I would be a normal girl.
A normal girl. You say the strangest things.
She can read
Melty,
minds.
There's no way you're an ordinary girl. It's absolutely, totally, positively impossible. Because you're so utterly distrustful of humanity. You're so distrusting of people. You can't be with anyone unless they do your every bidding. You can't feel at peace unless you can completely control someone.
That's... not...
I wish I could say it's not true, but those words won't come out. Because deep down, I know she's right. I'm a coward. I'm timid and weak. I fear how I can't be at peace. That's why
you should be ruler. Control everything to your will. There's nothing wrong with that, so let's do it. Once you become ruler, you can do anything. You can make them submit to your evil eye, or you can use your political authority. That's the only difference. Do you understand? It doesn't matter if you are a legitimate or an imposter candidate, because you were born to rule.
Me? A ruler?
Yes, that's right. Your evil eye gives you the right to trample on others, and a ruler has the right to trample on their subjects. If dominating someone is proof of power, then you were already born with it.
Sakura raises her hand. She runs her fingers across her palm and grins. I immediately realize the gesture is referring to my palm rather than her own. My palm. My evil eye has been reconstructed so that it can't be seen anymore. It used to exist in that particular spot.
Your evil eye is your crown. Melty, I want you to become a true ruler.
Sakura squints as she looks down on me gently.
I know we don't have the best relationship. It's natural for you to hate me. I'd been deliberately acting as such to make you feel that way, after all. But my desire to make you ruler is real, if nothing else. You have the power to make it happen. And if you have the ability, why not?
I don't know. I don't understand.
I reluctantly shake my head as I try to escape from her words. But she won't let me go. Her eyes and expression continue to hold firm. It's as if she is clinging to me.
That's enough!
Right when my entire being was about to be swallowed up, Tiga shouts out. Tiga is breathing heavily as he glares at Sakura.
I tried to keep my mouth shut, but you kept saying those awful things to Mel. You're way out of line. Mel is not like you.
Oh my. Did I make you upset?
Don't tease me, you vile woman. Mel's evil eye has controlled her life, and of all things, you call that her crown? When did Mel ever want that? It was all your idea.
Power and birthright are not determined by your desire. They are given. The royal family that died the other day just happened to be born as royalty, right? It's the same with the evil eye. It just so happened that those with power were given the right to use it. Wouldn't it be an insult to let such a treasure go to waste?
Why, you...
Please stop! I know. I really do. It's all my fault. So, I'm sorry. So please, stop fighting!
Oh.
Goodness. You're way off the mark yet again. You're so naive. You're going to regret it if you don't wise up soon.
I don't know how to respond to Sakura. I simply look down and think back on our earlier conversation.
We were being kind of loud. Maybe that guard heard us.
If that's true, just have Melty use her evil eye to shut him up.
You don't have to say it like that.
I think I put it kindly enough. At least I didn't use the word coax this time, right?
Tiga clicks his tongue and slowly stands up, then looks out the window. Then...
Huh?
Tiga?
Tiga's reaction catches my attention. I look up too. Tiga squints and stares at something out the window.
Weren't we heading to the castle? But
what?
The scenery. Something's off.
Tiga turns around to head to the coachman's seat. My eyes widen, then I stare out the window Tiga was just looking out of. That's not the path to the castle outside. It's the opposite. It's the dilapidated scenery of the slums.
Huh?
Hey, you! What's going on here?
Bestie!
What?
Is that...
The guard on the coachman's seat yells. I don't know why. And Sakura looks like she doesn't either. But Tiga?
No!
Tiga jumps towards me and his strong arms wrap around me. Then he hugs me tight, and in the next moment... I feel swallowed up by a violent shock. I scream as everything goes upside down. I scream and scream. The only thing I feel is Tiga's arms firmly around me. That's the last thing I remember before I lose consciousness.
Right, it went perfectly. That attack would have caught anyone off guard. Hey, Tiga! You alive?
I can't hear anything.
Tiga! You can't die! You gotta be joking.
Like hell I'm dead! But I did almost die! That would have been a bad joke!
After saying that, Tiga comes out from under the overturned carriage looking injured. In Tiga's arms is Melty. She looks unconscious, but uninjured.
Awesome! I knew I could believe in you, bestie.
You make it sound so easy. What would you have done if I didn't notice? You put Mel in danger. Subaru.
You didn't notice. The thought never even crossed my mind. Ladies' men like you wouldn't miss such opportunities.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I can tell you're being ridiculous. Anyway, why did you do this? Are you trying to declare war on us?
Tiga repositions Melty in his arms and glares aggressively. Considering I lied about the summons and flipped their dragon carriage, that reaction makes perfect sense.
Wait, no, it's the opposite. We're the ones who saved you.
Huh?
Come on! We're here to save you. I was racking my brain thinking about how to get you out of that awful situation. We also managed to come up with a plan after deliberating over it and finally put it to action. Tiga?
Are you serious?
I can come up with pretty big lies while keeping a straight face, but I wouldn't do that now. I really did come to save you. And her. If possible, I want to help Solemn too.
Subaru.
Don't worry, bestie. I'm the kind of man that doesn't give up on happy endings.
Happy what?
I give a thumbs up and flash a smile. Tiga makes an exasperated grunt. Tiga then shakes his head and looks down at Melty, still in his arms.
I don't really understand what you're saying, but I like the sound of it. I don't get what's going on, but I won't regret trusting you, right?
Yeah, I swear on our true friendship.
Hearing Tiga's answer makes me smile, knowing that I got past the first obstacle. And then, in front of us...
Jeez, we don't have time to talk. You know we have to hurry.
That voice.
Yeah, the star is here. The world's best, prettiest, silver-haired girl.
You mean...
There, it stopped. You can come out now.
Hey, sorry for the wait. We got here as fast as we could.
Miss Amelia? And Ferris, too.
Yoo-hoo, Tiger. Let me guess, are you in trouble?
We know the whole story, so leave it to us.
What do you mean you know?
I couldn't figure anything out on my own, so I gave them all the details.
What?
Anyway, here's our miraculous and magical helpers. Just leave Melty to us.
You told everyone? Hey, come on!
Yeah, I can understand why he's mad, actually. That's legit.
There, don't fight. Miss Melty is your priority, right? Or can I just call her Melty?
Ferris, that's not important right now. Come on, hurry and bring her to the dragon carriage.
Amelia and Ferris take Melty from Tiga's arms and carry her to the dragon carriage.
Subaru, what's going on?
Let me relieve your worries for now. We have a plan for Melty's throat. And?
And?
I think the chains that bind her can be dealt with too. You're not alone anymore. Let's fight together.
Man, you really are something else.
I pat Tiga on the shoulder and he finally smiles. But right when I smile back...
Oh my. Looks like everyone is taking a bow already.
I figured she'd come out.
I can't allow that. You won't have your way.
Sakura!
Subaru, what is with you, really? You keep messing up all of my preparations one after another. Now you've even set up a trap for me. You're a loser. You don't have it in you to be somebody.
Damn! Harsh.
And yet you accomplished this.
Sad to say, but I can't really disagree with that. Still, I may be a loser, but this is the result of my desperate efforts.
Oh?
And since you've been losing to a loser like me, that makes you a loser too!
I take back what I said earlier. I admit you do have an unrivaled talent for impudence.
Cool. That's an insult. Seems like what I said was a clean hit. Sakura suddenly looks much angrier. Her sharp glare almost makes me want to inch backwards.
Enough!
Tiga draws his sword and stands in front of me.
Are you serious, Tiga? You really want to define me? After all we've been through together?
You're the one that jumped in the way between Mel and me. Unfortunately for you, I don't have a speck of affinity for you. I'm actually happy I can finally sever ties from you. It feels like this has been a long time coming.
Tiga!
Leave this to me and go!
Hey, that line!
Yeah, I know how awesome I sounded just now, so let me have my moment here. You said you'll save Mel. I'll believe in you, Subaru. So go. I'll hold back Sakura.
Can you really do it?
Bro, was part of the plan not to deal with her?
I can't call myself a man otherwise.
You're right. Don't you die on us, Tiga.
Tiga and I bump fists after that bold declaration. I jump on the dragon carriage where Amelia waited, then...
Subaru, where's Tiga?
We're leaving him behind. This is where he'll show what he's made of.
I don't understand you sometimes.
The dragon carriage starts running while kicking up smoke. We left Tiga and Sakura behind as we make our escape. I watch the dragon carriage get further away before turning toward my enemy.
There they go. Are Are you sure about this? Maybe you should have had your little friend's help instead of fighting alone.
Maybe.
I know what you're trying to do, Sakura. Like you said, we've known each other for a long time. You're stalling for time, because the longer we wait, the better advantage you'll have. You still have your ace up your sleeve. If they make it here, we lose. So I'll make sure you're separated from that ace to increase my chance of winning.
Oh, you're so sly. I really hate how you've grown up.
Sakura snaps her fingers. That's her usual signal. The bugs then start to gather. The evil mana wasps are controlled by Sakura's powers. That is her strength as an insect master.
I've always thought your personality was fitting for an insect master. Tell me, did you become a bug tamer because of your personality? Or did you get that personality from being an insect master? Which came first?
You really don't know when to shut up. No wonder you and Subaru are friends. You're exactly the kind of person he attracts.
Yeah.
What kind?
The kind that irritates me!
She snaps her fingers again to signal the bugs to fly up and attack. There are countless numbers of them. This formidable attack seems to blot out the sky. Most people would quiver at the sight. Once they swarm you, they use their fangs and tear your flesh until you're nothing but a corpse. Even if she doesn't kill Mel, she has no reason to keep me alive until the end. That's why she won't go easy. If I give in to fear, I'll die. Knowing this, I swing my sword with inner peace. I swing a second and a third time to slice at the mana wasps. Containing my emotions, as it would affect my sword, I maintain my cool and engage the enemies. If I lose my grip on my emotions, it will prove fatal for me. If my body submits to fear, death will come. I suppress all of those things with my inner peace as I survive Sakura's first wave of attack.
This is a surprise. I knew that you were training hard to protect Melty.
But you didn't expect me to be this good? Don't worry, Sakura. I wasn't hiding any secret powers from you. You already know that I'm just an ordinary person. Unlike the Sword Saint, the finest of knights, or the Blue, I have no special powers. However, I must defeat you in order to save Mel. So I honed my skills for that purpose.
That's a beautiful story. I've never received such a passionate confession. You might even make Melty jealous.
I have another confession for Mel, so don't worry about that.
I concentrate my emotions into my sword and point it at Sakura.
Thanks
Then,
for everything, Sakura. May you have the serenity and the guidance of the Divine Dragon.
oh, hope he doesn't actually die.
Stopping to rest? How slothful.
The dragon carriage powers through the slums while we were thrown into a panic from the rough ride. We had stopped at the slums, so the land dragon's divine protection of wind repel was removed.
But I didn't think it would shake this much!
The slums don't have paved roads, and it's so bumpy. Ow, my foot!
Ah! And my tongue! Mealy, where's the road?
Almost there. We're almost to another road. All right, we're okay now.
Emilia grabs onto the reins on the coachman's seat. Just like she said, the shaking gradually lessened, although it's not completely gone.
It's smoother now. Alright, Varys, now's your chance.
You mean to diagnose Miss Meowty?
I hate you.
Are you seriously gonna call her that?
Thank you, Subaru. Thank you.
Barry here is a bit confused right now. I'll do the diagnosis, so be quiet for a second.
Paris yells at me and then starts checking Melty's esophagus as she lies there on the seat. The conclusion of last night's discussion was based on nothing but conjecture. Even if it can go well in theory, it's entirely possible that it won't turn out as expected.
I shouldn't be so pessimistic. Anyway, just leave it to Varys right now. As for me... Mealy, how is it on your end?
Oh, Subaru. Yeah, everything's fine. This is a really good dragon.
Amelia points at the black land dragon pulling the dragon carriage.
Dragon carriage and land dragon were borrowed from Cruchet. She's one impressive duchess. Can't underestimate that power.
That could be part of it, but this dragon is amazing on its own. It really liked you, Subaru.
Oh, right. I really don't know why, though.
Cruchet asked me to pick a land dragon before the mission started. Among them was this black one. It had an elegant-looking face. I didn't think that would match me well, but the land dragon seemed to take a liking to me.
It's our dependable land dragon, buddy. I'll name you Patricia.
Hey, you can't just give her a weird name like that. We have to return her to Cruchet later.
I know that, but now I'm starting to feel more attached. Considering how much work I did at the royal capital, would it be possible to get a land dragon as a reward?
There you go again. What would you do with a land dragon? Taking care of them is a lot of work.
Are you my mom or something?
Huh? I'm not.
You're not supposed to take it seriously. Now it's awkward.
Amelia's silly response floors me. Anyway, now that our conversation got cut short, I turn my attention behind me. I don't mean inside the carriage. I'm wondering about Tiga, who we left behind.
About Tiga.
Yeah, I am. But worrying about him undermines his bravery.
You boys are such a pain.
Yeah, we sure are. This is something we will never yield on.
Unfortunately for Amelia, this has to do with the man's pride and trust, so I hope she'll just accept it with an open heart. In any case, the die has already been cast. All we can do is work hard in hopes that each of us rolls a good number.
Right now, we need to get working. Mealy, where's the next point?
I think we're almost at our rendezvous point. And about the others.
If that bunch doesn't do well, I think things will turn out real badly down the line. In any case, they've all got some eccentric personalities. I'm not worried about that part.
Is everyone okay?
We can only believe.
Right when I was about to say that... That's the clown, right?
Subaru, watch out!
A bright red light shines, and Amelia pulls me towards her while casting an ice spell above. In the next instant, a white light explodes, causing a shockwave that shakes the dragon carriage.
Subaru, are you okay?
I'll live. What about you, Mealy?
Okie dokie.
I haven't heard that phrase in a while. Wait, now's not the time for that. That attack was...
Well, aren't you lucky you survived? I was trying to flip over your entire dragon carriage. You've done it now. Thanks to you, Sakura is losing her mind. That feels great.
Wait, now's not the time to be saying this. Melty is in that carriage, so don't flip it.
Oh, that's right. Anyway, good job to you then. As thanks, I'll give you some hot flames.
There he is!
So that's the evil spiritual arts user that you talked about.
Maybe I can talk him out of this. Hey! Listen up, Wolf! No! Solemn!
What?
We're trying to help Melty! We both want the same thing! We should work together! I know what you're going through. I heard from Tiga. We found out a way to resolve this. All that's left is...
You're mistaken.
What? I'm mistaken?
Yeah, you've definitely got the wrong idea here. You could even say it's a fatal mistake.
What mistake? You're Melty's older brother and...
That's right, I'm Melty's brother, but I'm different from my useless other half.
Other... half?
I am the malevolent masked magician Wolf. That name is true to its word. I am a different being from Solemn. He's useless in every regard, so don't lump me in with him. I would never accept the help of others. I will save my sister Melty on my own. No one will stand in my way.
Earlier, the door opens with a heavy sound. I look around, but don't see anyone. It's not that anyone was hiding and holding their breath. There really was no one here.
Oh my, looks like Sakura isn't here. She summoned us and she's not even here? What an insult! Jeez, it's always like this. My patience is wearing thin. Aren't you also annoyed by this? I wish it would just stop. You're like that again. Yeah, it's my fault for asking.
Puka wags her puffy tail and turns back to Solemn. Turns her back on Solemn. Seeing how the spirit was in bad spirits, Solemn isn't sure what to do. Things haven't changed in years. Puka was like that during their first encounter. How many years ago was that?
So you're Solemn? I've heard about you. I'm Puka. As you can see, I'm a fledgling, powerful, and beautiful great spirit. That's a good reaction. Seems like you're speechless at the sight of me.
No.
You're not? You're just not that talkative? What's with that? Are you making fun of me?
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You have to speak more clearly or the other person will never know what you're trying to say. Well, how about it? Or are you just gonna use that as an excuse and you don't care if you make the other person angry?
I have a choice?
Okay, so there's no choice. But I have my pride. I'll never do something I don't want to do, even if I vanish for it. What about you? Do you have the conviction to follow through? You're quiet again. All right. I've had enough. You can just...
I'm Solemn. Solemn. That's my name. Puka, I want to be your partner. There is something I must accomplish. And for that, I need your help.
My help?
Yes, with your powers.
My powers? Why'd you go so quiet again?
I'm sorry.
Fine then. I understand how you feel and that you aren't making fun of me. I know you can't help it. Fine. I'll form a contract with you, but remember this. Someday, you have to make sure you actually express your thoughts fully. That's the very first condition of the contract between us. Did you just laugh? Did something funny happen? Tell me!
It's you, Puka.
You were laughing at me!
Solemn wasn't laughing at her, but it seems he still has trouble conveying his intentions. Puka erupts in anger again, and Solemn is forced to get back on her good side.
You think you can cheer me up with candy? You think you can cool me off with this? Jeez, men are always like this.
I mean, he's right, apparently.
Oh, thanks for the treat. Whew. Only I would have such a kind heart to forgive you so easily.
Yeah.
Yes. So, in the end...
Is that...
It's Sakura's bugs! Seeing that they're here...
Seeing one of the flying insects, Solemn reaches out without hesitation. Then the bug sinks its stinger into his outstretched arm.
Not a problem.
I know that, but it looks gross. So, what did she say?
Wait.
Solemn interrupts Puka and closes his eyes. In the next moment, the message was sent through the Manawasp's stinger into his arm. That is one of her abilities as an insect master. She can transmit messages through the insects that she controls. This time, too.
The candidates have made their move.
Did they find out?
Seems like it. Melty has been kidnapped.
What? What are Tiga and Sakura doing? Well, we're in no position to talk. Then where do we go?
The slums. We'll take back Melty.
Solemn and Puka soon arrive at the familiar roads and alleyways of the slums. According to the message that Sakura sent, the dragon carriage that Melty and the others are riding should pass through here.
We managed to get here first. All that's left is to stop them. But... Solemn, can you do it? You idiot. I can tell what here thinking just by looking at your face. How many years do you think we've been partners? Subaru and his friends kidnapped our Melty.
Solemn couldn't keep secrets from his partner. Despite his taciturn personality, he isn't very good at keeping them. Or perhaps the great spirit to be is just that good at reading his thoughts.
They're nice people. There's no mistake about that. But they have nothing to do with our objective. I know that.
Backlog. Solemn is reminded of the faces of those he met were unrelated to his work. They were good people. Had they not interacted with Solemn, they would have remained in peace. Perhaps they kidnapped Melty to expose who she really is, or...
The situation has changed. It's come to a point of no return. The life at the royal capital wasn't bad. Everything was so busy and lively. When the runt of a spirit picked a fight with me, it was nothing but trouble. But it's time to say goodbye to that life. We have to make sure we're gone without a trace. Can you do it?
Puka asks quietly, and Solemn responds with his usual silence. He is unable to express his answer with words, and time passes on.
Gonna give her the usual silent treatment? That's no way to treat your partner. You should already know that this job is too much for you to handle. Just switch out like you usually do, turn tail and go into hiding.
Those calls of ridicule didn't come from outside, but the inner voice deep in his heart. It is the voice of a cruel man that knows everything, his other self.
Yup, it's me. You're me. Or am I you? Well, whatever. Go!
The inner voice he had started hearing some time ago is his alternate personality, Wolf. After being chased out of their homeland, Solemn decided to get his hands dirty so he could be with his sister. Along the way, he met Puka and spent days working these unscrupulous jobs. But after the years had passed, this other man appeared in Solemn. This overly familiar voice would insult Solemn's work, whispering that he could do better. But that is a fact. When Solemn lent his body to the voice, his full potential could be realized, and all the work would be completed perfectly. Soon, that voice called himself Wolf. He announced that he is Solemn's other half, and proved to everyone that he was useful. Solemn himself acknowledges that. In fact, Wolf is many times stronger than Solemn. His ruthlessness towards targets and his ability to be cold-hearted for the sake of winning set the two apart. Wolf would complete every task effortlessly. Solemn would still hesitate at the crucial moment. By the time they realized it, Wolf had been tasked to do most of the work. All Solemn does is act like some sort of hermit. Seeing his sister grow up healthy is one of Solemn's few moments of happiness. That's why...
Switch with me, my pacifist brother. You're too much of a coward to handle this yourself. You can't kill them. Don't worry, just close your eyes and I'll take care of things like I always do. There's no need for you to get hurt. I don't have a heart to get hurt in the first place. We're just taking the roles that suit us best. You want to hug your sister with those arms, right? Then don't dirty your hands with the blood of the innocent. Goo!
Solemn, what are you going to do? The dragon carriage is going to arrive soon.
Urged to make a decision, Solemn opens his eyes. The contracted spirit looks at him with worry. He wasn't afraid of staining his hands with blood. He was just afraid of containing his other, stronger self and getting Puka hurt. That's why...
Wolf, please.
Sure thing, you damn coward.
He takes out a mask and wears it, completing the ritual that switches Solemn and Wolf. In the next instant, the one who controls the body switches. Solemn's consciousness falls into darkness, and the one who surfaces in his place...
Looks like you're done switching.
Obviously. I'm purposely dressing up for you because I would have felt bad if you got confused. This is all out of love for you. Cool.
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, do you know what the situation is?
I've been listening from inside him. It would have been awesome if I got to see Sakura get all flustered. But hearing the panic in her message was good enough. Don't look at me like that, Puka. You and I will burn everything. The entire path will be a barren wasteland. And then we will go to our new world! Doesn't that excite you? What?
Isn't it hard, hurting yourself like this?
Don't look at me like that, Puka. I'm making progress. I'm not the same as that coward who's hiding.
Wolf glares and growls out those words, a completely different demeanor from his usual jesting laughs. He sees the dragon carriage plowing through the road of the slums at an amazing speed.
It's time. It's time! Let's get working, partner.
I know. I'm your partner. That's what was asked of me, so I will follow through.
That's right. Let's get this going.
Wolf becomes engulfed in flames with Puka's help, and he jumps high into the air. He then points his arm at the dragon carriage and begins his attack.
Whoa!
This is bad. Subaru, please take the reins. I'll shoot down that attack.
Wolf howls and emits flames that continue to chase after the dragon carriage. Even if I crouch down and brace myself, if we get hit with that even once, we're done for. To prevent that, I grip the reins Amelia handed over to me and keep running the dragon carriage. Amelia stands up boldly and...
I've had enough of your recklessness. Now I'm really mad.
You look so adorable when you're mad. It's such a waste. If only you weren't a half-devil.
Don't be dumb! She's a half-elf and she's super cute! Don't make me burn all your nose hairs!
Subaru, keep your eyes on the road. And now's not the time to be saying nonsense.
Even though I was getting scolded by Amelia, I deftly controlled the dragon carriage to evade the flames. Wait, am I?
She's amazing! I'm not even really doing anything!
I can sense how great this animal is just from how the reins feel. I know for sure that Patricia is a thoroughbred. I think I picked the best one at Karsten Manor.
Evasive maneuvers! Quick dash! Back dash! Sidestep!
Swirling around nicely, aren't you? This is so irritating, it makes me want to change my mask!
I don't know what good that would do, but do what you want!
If that keeps one of his hands busy, it'll make my attacks easier to connect.
The flashy magic battle between Amelia and Wolf unfolds around the dragon carriage. Amelia keeps her surroundings in mind, but Wolf doesn't show the same consideration. We have to be careful so that the slums don't get burned down.
Always on hard mode here. Wanted to make our move in the slums in case he came after us, but...
It's okay, Subaru. We'll be fine. I'll keep the collateral damage at a minimum. And we're almost there.
Amelia fights valiantly, despite having more to deal with than Wolf. Her bluish-purple eyes turn to the bottom of the dragon carriage. As if waiting for that glance, the window that connects the coachman's seat and the dragon carriage opens up.
Subaru! Miss Amelia!
Alaris, we're busy right now! We're being chased by a scary clown! Wait, I've heard of that urban legend before.
I can tell from all the shaking. It was real tough, so you better appreciate how hard this was for me.
I will. I definitely will. So what happened?
Boo, you're not being sincere about it. Fairy here worked so hard, too. And as a result... Yeah? I think I can solve the issue with Miss Meowty's throat like we talked about yesterday.
Nice!
That was truly great news from Paris. I raise my fist into the air, and all that's left is...
Time to prep for the operation. We're almost at the rendezvous point. Mealy!
Sure. What should I do?
Oh, my, you're so obedient. Are you sure you want to follow my orders?
It's a little late for that. We've come this far. I'll believe in you till the end, Subaru.
I am taken aback by Amelia's trust in me. My heart feels hot. My cheeks feel hot. Ears feel hot. Anyway, I'm getting pumped up.
Alright, this is great! Let's do this! You trust me, so I won't let you down! Mealy, I'll tell you when to use your ice magic. Ferris, you get mentally prepared for the op.
You can count on me.
What's an op? I guess you don't have time to answer.
I sure don't! We're We're starting the mission right now!
Yeah, he circled around us again. That Subaru is strangely perceptive.
I don't think that's the case. It's the land dragon that's doing all the dodging. It's not technique. It was all his luck in choosing the land dragon. He pulled the best land dragon when it mattered most. That's the kind of luck he has. I'd say it's a talent I don't have.
You going soft on me? Then get out of here. I'll protect you and Salim both. You two cowards can just go to the back and huddle together. Huh?
That's such an obvious taunt. You think I would be affected by those words now? Give me a break, oh great spirit. I am Wolf. I play dirty tricks and ambush all the time. I swear on my title of malevolent math magician to defeat any opponent. They'll be just another victim. Nothing more, nothing less.
Wolf.
Ignoring Puka's call, he continues to shoot flames at the dragon carriage as it runs. Huge magic spells go off one after another. Normally, one would run out of mana, but that's not an issue for Wolf, because...
World unravel, spill from the cracks, give me the strength to rise up!
On the palms of both of his hands are the ominous sights of opened evil eyes. When the evil eyes shine, something interesting happens. The evil eye of Avarice absorbs mana in the area, which Wolf devours and cycles into his body. As long as the world itself doesn't end, the supply is endless.
Run away all you want, you plebeians. I will burn you with my eternal flames.
The Great Spirit Puka creates the flames. Wolf's evil eye supplies infinite mana. Together, there is no battle that they cannot win through sheer force. That's why...
Something's wrong!
Something is happening to the dragon carriage straight ahead. Before, they were using ice shards to block, but something is different about them now. The ice shards are even finer and smaller, like hail and raindrops.
What's going on? Why did they spread out their ice like that?
I've got a bad feeling about this. Maybe we should keep our distance.
Nah, it's a pain.
He holds up both hands to create an even bigger flame. Puka opens her eyes wide, but Wolf pays her no heed.
Whatever they're plotting, I'll incinerate them all here and now. Now, I don't have to be conservative and worry about being spotted by others.
Wolf, you can't be...
But I don't care anymore! I'll show them my full strength!
Melty's there.
Take this!
Hey! What about Melty?
The giant flame is unleashed, despite Puka's scream, drowned out by the sound of fire. The flames approach the dragon carriage, and it seems that there was no way to stop it. Once everything vanishes, dragon carriage and all, in the next instant, a white fog expands explosively. The white haze engulfs the flames along with Wolf and Puka, cutting off their vision.
Whoa. What's going on?
This fog! What are they trying to do?
When the haze clears, Wolf and Puka doubt their own eyes at the spectacle before them.
There's 3 dragon carriages?
They're all the same color and type. Which one's the carriage from earlier?
Right! They're freaked out! The plan is working!
I'm surprised that you came up with this plan. Using multiple identical carriages to confuse our pursuers? If it is underhanded tactics we are talking about, there is no one better than Barasu.
That's not really a compliment!
But we managed to catch the opponent off guard. Give enough time for Ram and me to jump in. Your little trick sure proved to be useful.
That's definitely not a compliment! I can tell, you know!
That's not my intention.
I was busy dealing with Ram and Julius, who jumped into the dragon carriage. Deep in my heart, I was cheering that the plan worked. Outside the window, the decoy dragon carriages were running alongside the real one. Thanks to the haze that Amelia created, the carriages keep shuffling, so they can't figure it out. All that's left is...
Stop fighting! Crochet has joined the fray, so Fairy Hair doesn't have time to mess around with Mew. Julius, Ron, help me here! We need to get started!
Of course.
You can count on me.
Oh, Miss Crochet, I'll do my best!
Of course. I believe in you. I know you will give it your all, Ferris.
Crochet responds from the coach box with the reins in hand, even though her attendant's voice doesn't reach her. They've known each other for so long that she could close her eye and easily imagine her attendant's thoughts and actions. They each have an unwavering trust in the knowledge that the other will give their utmost effort.
Such turmoil before the royal selection has even started. Goodness, it is never easy.
Miss Amelia, are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. Subaru and the others should be perfectly fine too. Thank you so much for making it on time. It almost turned out very badly for us. I only did what was expected. Sister and I were very worried. We can't turn back after we've come this far. Let's keep going all the way to the end. Agreed. Let's do this.
2 decoys and 1 real one. Damn, I can't attack carelessly.
I know! Look at the coachman to find out which is which. Melty is on the dragon carriage with Subaru and his princess.
Are you sure they make it that obvious? If they're going to switch around, they must have considered that.
Oh, right. But...
I know. Damn it, damn it, damn it! Sakura was right. Who the hell are you, Subaru Natsuki?
I get the feeling that someone's mad at me.
Of course. You have done many things that people would get mad at you for.
Hey, shut up! Anyway, did you bring what I asked you?
I've gotten all of it. Clean blades, a table for surgery, cloth, and water. All of it. This is rather thorough.
I only have superficial knowledge of it. But the most important thing is to keep everything clean. If we mess up here, it'll be terrible all around.
Barusu, since you were so insistent about it, I put the blades over a flame beforehand. All that's left is...
The inside of the dragon carriage should be clean, but...
We can leave that to my buds.
Just as Julia says so, spirits of different colors dance around him.
Ia, Qua, Aro, Ik, In, Ness. They are all quasi-spirits that I've contracted with.
Quasi-spirits?
They are 1 rank below spirits. You can think of them as great spirit candidates.
Considering how I'm a knight in training, there's a bunch of candidates in this battle.
That includes the fake candidate in front of us.
Ram's tongue is sharp. I hope the surgical knife will be just as sharp. And while we're talking...
All right. We cleaned the carriage interior as best we could. The preparation should be complete.
We can start at any time. The divine protection of wind repel is working, so everything is stable.
And again, we're assuming that the dragon carriage won't get flipped on its side.
I don't want to sound ominous, but if Wolf somehow figures out which dragon carriage is the right one, or loses his patience while searching, that is a very real possibility. And...
We don't have any anesthetics or something that can reduce pain, do we?
No problem. You're worried about pain? Then Fairy Hair's magic will lessen it.
Really? I guess that makes sense. Pain from getting your throat cut is unbearable.
The surgery is to help save her life. Actually, yeah, he would know from experience, I'm sure. If she dies from the pain, that would make it all for nothing.
I didn't know you could mimic anesthetics. Water magic must be real convenient.
When someone's heavily injured or they're very sick, all you can do is reduce their pain in most cases.
Well...
I realized what I said was careless and quickly regretted it. Ferris is a healing mage. In other words, a doctor. Even the best doctor in the kingdom can't save every life. That's a given.
But that is why your magic is the gentlest in this world. I am proud to have you as my friend.
That's not what I meant. Anyway, get Miss Meowty onto the table. We need to get started immediately.
Yes, sure.
Ferris seems to be hiding some embarrassment while Julius chuckles. Seeing this exchange between them makes me feel that there is a strong friendship there.
I know you don't have any friends, Barusu.
Hey, I do too, and they're both working on this mission. Oh, and there's also one doing his best trying to sell apples.
Yes, come on, Barusu, back to work.
I know! Jeez.
Ram pokes my back, and I head back toward Melty. Her surgery is about to begin on what I call an operating table, and to prepare for that... Oh, she's awake.
Melty, are you awake?
Melty looks around with dazed eyes. Understandably, she doesn't know what's going on. Right when she thought she was on a dragon carriage, it got flipped over and she lost consciousness. Of course she's confused.
Sorry. I really wish I could explain in detail, but we don't have time. But you have to believe one thing. We will do everything we can to release you from your problems. So please believe in us. Melty?
I thought my pleading sounded sincere, but I frown upon seeing that she's not responding. The silence appears to be coming from something other than confusion. And as if to confirm my worries, she opens her mouth.
What?
I wasn't letting my guard down, but it all happened so fast. She quickly knocks me to the floor. And I see something strange in Melty's eyes.
Get away from Barasu!
Hey, Rom! Be careful!
I did go easy on her. What made her lose her temper?
No, that's not it! This isn't anger!
Miss Melty, can you hear me? Please say something. This is bad. It seems like her consciousness is clouded. Not only that.
Is she being manipulated? Could that be it?
Seems like I got them.
She sent a bug.
Got them? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. It's just that a lot of my plans have been ruined at every turn, so I'm very irritated right now.
Alright. As much as I don't want to call it in the middle of a big scene, I'm gonna have to call it because it is late and I have to go to bed. So, I guess we're probably gonna finish this game next Wednesday? Let me go save.
Let me note this.
Let me see the flowchart. Is there anything? No. There's no options in Loop 5 at all. So, we're going to call it here. For everybody who was watching, thank you all for watching. And I will see you guys personally next Wednesday for more of this. Hopefully the last stream. It's been fun, and have a great night, everybody.